Are you wondering if you should upgrade from your Sony kit lens to this Viltrox 25mm f1.7 lens, and is it actually worth it? So I can say you straight away, yep, this lens is absolutely phenomenal, and definitely if you want to get significantly better image quality and also much better low light performance, then this is really no-brainer. But first, maybe let's start with some samples. So I basically will show you a quick sample. So I'm going to film at the same 25mm on my kit lens, and basically when we are at 25mm on our kit lens, so if I set 25, almost so you see we are at f4.5, but on this one we are at f1.7 essentially. So absolutely insane difference when it comes to depth of field and also low light performance. And first, this is what the kit lens looks like at 25mm. And this is what the Viltrox looks like at the same f4.5. So we are at 1.7 now. Let's see just how nice it looks like. When it comes to the price, obviously the Viltrox is still a very affordable lens, but if you check the build quality on the Viltrox, as you see, it actually looks very premium actually, and at this price you actually pretty much never actually see this kind of build quality on these lenses. You see, we have full metal basically here. Okay, we have the USB port here to update the firmware and stuff like that. So yeah, when it comes to build quality, this feels just as good or even actually tiny bit better than the Sony. So I think the side, when you actually touch in the hand, this definitely feels more solid and better than the Sony. Obviously this is like a cheaper kit lens, so that's what we can expect. But yeah, if you compare this lens versus maybe other budget lenses, this definitely has best quality out there from all cheap lenses. By the way, if you are looking to get this lens, in the description I'll include special discount link that you can use to get it for the cheapest price possible. So personally, I got mine on AliExpress, and using some extra coupons I managed to get actually mine for I think like 134 euros. If you look at the Viltrox official website, they are actually selling it for a bit over $200 essentially, or euros, and that is because this lens is incredibly popular, so they're selling like crazy basically this lens, and they have actually cranked up the price. But if you follow AliExpress special discount links, as you see, it's still actually reasonable price. So again, if you use extra coupons I'll leave in the description and follow the special discount link, you'll also be able to get it for around like 134 euros, which is maybe like $140. So much cheaper definitely than on the Viltrox own website. Yeah, for this price, this really is completely unbeatable. Also, if you look at the autofocus performance, also I find the autofocus also actually is tiny bit faster on this one, which is completely unheard of, since usually basically on these third-party lenses the autofocus is probably the number one thing which suffers, but not really on this one. So I would say it's like tiny even better than on this kit lens. So again, this is the Mark 1, basically the 16x50. Maybe if you compare to the newer maybe it would be equal, but again the autofocus performance definitely is spot on. Also, if you're wondering if there's any like autofocus noise for this lens, then I can confirm that nope, basically there is literally zero noise essentially. So when we are actually trying to focus, really nothing can be heard, so it's completely dead silent. So also I have used a Sony 35mm lens, and that actually is kind of loud lens, and that even costs like I think even more than 2 times, maybe like even 3 times basically more expensive than this one from Viltrox, and this has got like quieter autofocus motor. So if you want to use this for video recording, this is obviously one of the best lenses you can get. And if you're wondering what will you actually be missing when you switch to a prime lens like this compared to the zoom lens, then actually when it comes to usability, you actually aren't missing that much, because this lens, if you combine with the Sony camera, is actually extremely versatile, because Sony camera has got 2 very nice features. First is a clear image zoom, so essentially you see I can literally zoom in with this camera lens. So if I enable this clear image zoom basically in my settings, so you see I can literally zoom in 1.5x extra. So basically the sensors in the Sony cameras, if you shoot in 4K, they're obviously much larger than that, and they can simply like crop in a bit more with like pretty much zero quality loss. So again, this is like like almost optical quality zoom that you get basically on the Sony cameras. Also, you can combine this with basically the active stabilization. So you see, if you turn off the stabilization off, basically we can even get like, yeah, more zoomed in or less zoomed in. And let me show you what it looks like in real life. So currently I do not have the stabilization, but if I use a clear image zoom, you see I can actually zoom in very well. Again, so this is the widest it can do. And next, let's enable stabilization. And now I have stabilization on, and if you use a clear image zoom on the top of it, let's see just how insanely nice we can zoom in. Also, when we look at the depth of field, it's also, yeah, absolutely awesome on this lens. So again, this is the maximum we can zoom in. And again, we are back to normal without stabilization and also without clear image zoom. So you see just how insanely nice you can even zoom in on this prime lens. So yeah, absolutely amazing if you have Sony camera. And again, this is zoomed in all the way in with a clear image zoom plus a stabilization crop. So you see just how extremely versatile this lens can be if you use it with those absolutely cool Sony features. And also, if you check the size, basically once the lens is actually in the use, so you see they pretty much are exactly the same. Obviously this is more compact for storage, but yeah, when in usage you see they're pretty much identical. So if you're wondering if you should upgrade and get this one, well, yep, there is really no question about it. When it comes to all of these like cheaper prime lens, this really completely destroys everything else. So again, there's really nothing else in the market that even comes close. I see there are some Yongnuo lens and also TT Artisan, but again, also I have used those lenses a bit, tested them out, and the build quality on them is absolutely terrible, really. So they feel mega cheap, and also the autofocus noise is very bad. But again, this feels like a very decent lens, so really just as good as the Sony when it comes to build quality, but also the autofocus performance is way better basically than on the other cheap lens. And yeah, also when it comes to low light performance, you see, so when I'm setting it 25mm, for example, I'm at already f4.5, while on this one I would be at f1.7, obviously, since the, yeah, basically aperture doesn't change on this lens. So again, like several times better low light performance as well, and obviously way better depth of field as well on this lens. So yeah, for its price, which this lens costs, I think it's absolutely insane what we're getting. So again, if you want to get it for the cheapest possible price, simply check out the special discount links in the description. So again, literally, so if you use extra coupons, I'll leave in the description. So again, you can probably get it for the same price as I got it. So like 135, 130, something like that, essentially. When it comes to dollars, maybe $140, something like that. So again, I actually purchased this lens myself, so no one has sent me this lens, unlike basically on the other videos you are seeing on YouTube. So I simply got this myself, yeah, and yeah, I'm actually completely blown away by the performance of it and what we're actually getting. So yeah, if you're thinking about upgrading from the kit to this one, yeah, really no question about it. Absolutely amazing choice. Good luck.